Hey, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 1135, 1135. Happy Saturday. Welcome to the weekend. We are through the first round of the NCAA March Madness bracket. As expected, we saw a couple of number 5 seeds go down. Unfortunately, one of those upsets was my Wisconsin Badgers. I was not surprised. I was hoping they would pull out the win, but I'm not surprised that they were upset by James Madison last night. I think that was a pretty popular pick when picking upsets this year in March Madness. Grand Canyon with a win last night over St. Mary's. I think that may have been one I picked in the bracket, but I'm not sure. Some good games, man. There was Northwestern and Florida Atlantic? It ended up going overtime. But I think the halftime score was like 20-18, something like that. And then another game, I think it was it Florida and Colorado? Final score was like 102-100. I think there were 5 teams that scored over 100 points in just Friday's games. There were some good games yesterday. I had a lot of them on. I didn't stay up for the Wisconsin. I was ticked off. I think I went upstairs, started the second half to get ready for bed. I had it on, watched it a little bit. Badgers kind of made a run. Checked the score this morning, saw they lost by like 11. So I don't think my bracket is busted. I don't think I've lost any Final Four teams. Where's the brackets? CBS Sports Line. I think we have, 30 brackets in our Hobby Evolution bracket challenge, only for bragging rights this year. Hey, I did move up to 8th place after last night's game. Wow. Will is in first place right now after round 1. Will, who has Houston winning it all, has 27 points. That's out of 32, right? That's damn good score. Jason, 25. He's got UConn winning. Dennis and Paul, the flipping sports guy, they each have 24 points. Steve, David, R. Smathers are tied for 5th. They have 23. Cody, George, Gypsy Oak, Bo, that's me, Ed, and Mike, each with 22. So who had teams that lost in the first round? So your brackets are officially busted if you had a champion that lost in the first round. Jordan, and I think he's in the chat, his bracket is busted. He had Kentucky winning it all. Josh, your bracket is busted. Also had Kentucky winning it all. So let's see. I had a perfect Midwest bracket. How about that? I don't know if I've ever had a perfect regional bracket. I had Purdue, Utah State, Gonzaga, Kansas, Oregon, Creighton, Texas, and Tennessee, which most of it was chalk. There was only one upset in the Midwest region. Number 11 Oregon beat number 6 South Carolina. That was the only upset in the Midwest region, and I correctly predicted the one upset. I did have James Madison beating Wisconsin. I think I picked against all Big Ten teams with the exception of maybe Purdue and one other. So let's see. In the South, Houston, Texas A&M beat Nebraska. James Madison beat Wisconsin. Duke beat UVM. I missed. I really effed up this bracket. I picked Texas Tech to beat North Carolina State. I picked Kentucky to beat Oakland. Those were upsets. Number 11 versus number 14 in the second round. So we'll have a double-digit seed, either North Carolina State or Oakland. I should have picked North Carolina State. I forgot. I think I was drunk when I did my bracket. I was at spring training. I should have known because North Carolina State's been hot. Go with the hot hand. Colorado upset Florida, small upset. That was the 102-100 game. Marquette. West bracket. Let's see. We got North Carolina. Hey, I did pick Michigan State over Mississippi State. That was a 9-8. I did go St. Mary's. Ooh, and I had St. Mary's in the Sweet 16. Not good. Alabama. I had New Mexico over Clemson, which was a really popular pick. New Mexico over Clemson. I had Baylor. I had Nevada beating Dayton. And I had Arizona. Okay. And then in the East, UConn. I had Florida Atlantic. Again, I went against the Big Ten. Let's see. San Diego State. I'm sure, I don't know how many people picked Yale over Auburn. I certainly did not. I did pick BYU over Duquesne and got that one wrong. I did go Illinois over Morehead State in this bracket. A second bracket I had Morehead State winning. And then let's see. Washington State beat Drake. Iowa State over South Dakota State. So there you go. There's your March Madness second round today and tomorrow. Good games. I may have watched more games the last 2 days because I managed my time wisely the last couple days in order to watch March Madness. So, and I didn't do as much listing. I did a lot of sorting yesterday. I did shipping, a little bit of listing. I think I finished the Julio Rodriguez singles in my eBay store. Check it out. 99centcards.com. And I did a lot of sorting. So I was in the rec room, did a lot of sorting, 2023 Bowman draft. So I'll have about a case and a half worth of singles from 2023 Bowman draft going into my eBay store, potentially as early as later today or tomorrow. Them sorted. Now I'm just going through. The only thing I have left is sorting them. They're sorted by tens. Then I've got to sort them into singles so I can do quantity listings, and then I'll get those scanned and listed. I've got some existing, so I might just make it easy on myself and just scan new batches. So, and I think I'm listing some Bobby Witt is my next batch. So, little eBay store update. What's going on in the chat? Victor's here. Good morning. Have a great weekend. Thank you, sir. Jordan says his bracket is busted. Those darn Wildcats. Christian, good morning. Kyle's in the house. Good morning. Best I have ever done after round one of a bracket. There you go. Congrats. Dave Arnold and the Bushnell Prairie City Spartans have a triple header today in Bushnell. Triple header in Bushnell. Philly Joe's in the house. Good morning. Donald Davis is here. Good morning. Nice to catch a live show. Welcome to it. Cooter's here. Good morning. Packing up to begin the 8-hour drive home. Hey, speaking of Cooter, I read, you've watched, especially as we approach springtime here over the last 3 years, I talk and bitch about my allergies. I read an article, I think it was yesterday, the top 5 worst cities for allergies. Oklahoma City was in the top 5. I'm thinking about you, Cooter. Oklahoma City, one of the worst cities in the U.S. for allergies. Dallas is on there, which surprised me. What else? Virginia Beach was on there, and I think maybe Greenville, South Carolina. I can't remember. I'm surprised Madison, Wisconsin, because my allergies suck. Although my allergies suck no matter where I live. Macomb, Illinois, Anawan, Illinois, Madison, Wisconsin, bad allergies. Christian says, big sports day. Go Wings, Grizzlies, MSU, hockey. There you go. It's nothing but basketball on my TV. March Madness, round 2. John, my kid had Kentucky winning. I'm not sure we're really related at all. Yeah, Kentucky. How about that? Losing the first round. I know some of the talking heads, Barkley and Kenny Smith, those guys, I think at least a couple of those had Kentucky in the Final Four. Jordan's crying. Jordan crying. That's the meme. JW, good morning. He says, stop bragging. I'm in 8th place, and there's only one way for me to go in the bracket. It's probably down. Todd says, good morning from snowy Maine. 12 to 18 predicted today. Good day to stay inside and watch the games. There you go. We're going to get ours melted. We ended up with about 5 inches yesterday, which was 5 inches more than I wanted. Had to fire up the snowblower. The good thing was a lot of the, I didn't even have to do the sidewalk. It had already melted off the sidewalk by the time I went out just before lunch to snowblow, because it did start up snowing again in the morning. But sidewalk was melted away. The driveway, I did have to snowblow the driveway, and then anything that was left over melted off the concrete. So like out my patio out here completely melted. But the grass still snow on the grass. Get it gone. Let's get it gone. No more snow. Melted away. Corey Garcia, what's going on? Good morning. John says top 5 worse. Fill in the blank pretty much sums up OKC, with the exception of the Right Honorable Cooter and Mrs. Cooter. There you go. I don't know. I've never been to Oklahoma. The only time I've touched grass, that's what the kids say these days. Go touch grass. The only time I've touched grass in Oklahoma was Tulsa at Oral Roberts. I was only there for basketball. Oral Roberts. Not big fan of Oral Roberts. They always beat us too. So that's the only time I've been to Oklahoma. In fact, I do remember, and maybe this has something to do with allergies, though it was it might have been this time of year. Well, would have been this late in the year, would have been February. But I do remember having either a cold or allergies on that trip. And I think we did, what did we do? Oral Roberts in Southern Utah, maybe in the same travel schedule, the same week. And it was because we flew out of Vegas. And I remember being at was it the airport in Vegas? It was the airport somewhere. Maybe it was in Dallas. And I lost my hair. Like I could not hear. Like my ears were completely stuffed. And then landed in Tulsa. And I don't think I didn't get my like hearing back for like 24 hours. There's nothing worse than flying with a cold, allergies, anything with your stuffiness going on. That was brutal. So that's my memories of Oklahoma. Playing stupid Oral Roberts and not being able to hear because of my allergies in the flight. So here we are. It is Saturday. Anything going on with card shows this weekend for you guys? I'm taking, this is the calm before the storm for me, which I just realized it this morning. There was a time, a couple months ago, where I think it was right before Topps Series 1 released. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, I've got time to sort my Cubs cards. And I'm listing and shipping and sorting and listing and shipping and sorting. And I've got all this time. And then all of a sudden, I don't have any time. And I'm like back against the wall. What the hell? I wish I had that time again. That's what I'm going to run into here the next couple weeks. And I need to realize and get my spaces. I need to get my sorting done and listed so I'm ready for this coming week. I need to get my pre-draft for next Saturday's Madison Card Show. We're 1 week away from the Madison Card Show. 175 tables, sold out, 3 ballrooms. State Street, Williamson on the first floor, upstairs mezzanine, and the main, not main, but big ballroom upstairs on the second floor, the Capitol Ballroom. 175 tables, free admission, 9 to 3 show hours. John Nolan Drive, Madison, Wisconsin. So getting the final touches put together. I think I still have card show inventory in the back of my car that I've got to pull out, put tables in. And so that'll be like all day work on Thursday and Friday, getting prepared for next week's show. Also, well, not probably just Friday, because this week is Topps Big League releases, I believe. So I have a case of Topps Big League coming hopefully Wednesday. That's release day. I ordered from Blowout. Pre-order sales sold out pretty quickly on Topps.com. You know, here's the thing about the pre-order, and we're all like, oh my God, Topps Big League sold out on Topps.com. The thing is, we don't know how much they actually put out on Topps.com. Back in the day, pre-pandemic, Topps.com would sell boxes, but not many. Like everything sold out because they didn't really have much. They didn't put much out there. So it was pretty common for products to sell out on Topps.com, which is kind of what I'm wondering. Okay, are they just limiting what they sell? Because they control the price now. You know, back 5 years ago, they sold it to the distributors and Topps didn't really sell much wax on their own. Now they control it. They've bumped the prices up to the distributors. So they get a little more green, which I'm surprised Topps never did before. It is a business. Have to remember that. So Big League coming this week. I'm excited for it. I will be ripping and flipping right away. Nothing better than release day rips and flips. Get that market, and singles will be flying. So it's going to be a busy week starting Wednesday. Going into the Madison Card Show the following week, which I'm still not comfortable with announcing what's going on, but stay tuned for April 5th. By the way, there will not be a Hobby Evolution episode on Friday, April 5th, or probably Saturday, April 6th. So there's something going on with the 1 Million Cubs project, which I will release here, hopefully this week. I'll follow up with some people and see where we're at. But stay tuned. Some fun, exciting news for the project. I want to go into part of my project, which I do collect autographs, obviously. Check out one of my latest videos, 275 autographs obtained last week at spring training, mostly on cards. One ticket stub and a few 8x10s were signed. All the others were cards. I started going through when I was watching basketball Thursday night. I was looking through binders. I love binders because I can look through them. You know, how often do you grab a 4-row box, put it on the couch, and start flipping through top loaders? I can't say I've ever done that unless I'm actually looking for certain cards or sorting. Otherwise, I don't really pull boxes out, but I will pull binders out. Got one right here. I'll pull binders out. This is the latest autograph binder, and I love these binders. But I've run into a conundrum, and hopefully Cooter's still with us because I think he's kind of the godfather when it comes to organization, card organization. My godfather of card organization is Cooter. So hopefully he's still here because I just want to run some things by the chat, get your take. And I also have Ultra Pro's website up because I want to see if there's other options for how I display my autographs. But I think I finally found the path of how I want to organize my Cubs autograph collection. But I haven't completely decided because the binder is the hang up. Let's go to the chat real quick. Let's see. Cooter says, can't say I disagree with John. We are looking to get out of here after the youngest starts college. Hey, Madison, Wisconsin, not in the top 5 worst cities for allergies. We have lakes. We also have too much snow, but it's nice in the summer. John says, I was present at the grand opening of the first Hooters in OKC. That's where roadies ate. The waitresses were stunners, came back on the next tour, and the scene was different. They bring in the hired guns, no pun intended, for grand opening. Yeah, they had imported girls from Dallas for the opening and then shipped them back. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? Jonathan, good morning. Jordan says, in San Francisco, there is a big one going on. However, not for me. Yard sale for me. Next week, small local card show in Southern California. Yeah, I think there's some big ones. And that's something that annoys me when people bitch about especially when it comes to the guys that travel to card shows and they're bitching about all these big shows. It's like, well, how come the promoters don't talk? Well, I get some of them probably want to go head to head just for ego boosts. But for the most part, you don't want to go head to head with other card shows. The thing is with these big card shows, Dallas last weekend, it was what, Dallas, or 2 weekends ago, it was Dallas, Chicago, and I think there was one other big show last weekend, 2 weekends ago. I can't remember where. But I am sure each of those 3 shows were heavily attended. Dealers made money. Buyers came in and were happy. It was well trafficked. You don't need one big show every weekend. Like there's enough population in America to have multiple shows. Now, when it's concentrated into a small area, we're going to run into that next weekend. It sucks, but it is what it is. Next weekend, we have Madison, Green Bay, and Minneapolis. All 3 shows will be great. Dealers will make money. All 3 shows will be well trafficked. It just sucks because some of the dealers have to pick and choose. I'll lose a couple dealers to Green Bay. I'll lose a couple dealers to Minneapolis. So it is what it is. But I had no other options. The venue was not available on April 27th. I already have a previous engagement set for April 13th, which also coincides with, which was where I'll be, Janesville. April 13th already has Janesville and Stevens Point. So it is what it is. April 20th. April 20th. Thank you, Max, for correcting me. Yeah, next weekend is, I'm sure there's something going on, but the April show, yeah. My bad. I'm a month ahead. So April 20th is when we go head to head with Minneapolis and Green Bay. April 27th, there couldn't be a show in Madison. April 13th, I'm going head to head against either Stevens Point, Janesville. I'm already committed to Janesville, so I'm not going to do that. So it's either April 20th Madison card show or no card show in Madison in the month of April. Those are the options. So April 20th, I'm nearly sold out. 3 ballrooms already for April 20th. So, and I'm sure Green Bay will be sold out, and I'm sure Minneapolis will be sold out. Dealers will make money. Buyers will make buys, sales, and it'll be well trafficked, and we'll all live happily ever after. Where are we at? Let's see. John says, Bo going to be on Real Housewives of Madison. Looking forward to it. Good morning, Red Light. What's happening? Jonathan, looking forward to heading down south to Atlanta to check out Cards HQ. Anybody else in the chat had a chance to check it out yet? I have not. Anybody have you been to Cards HQ? John says, I'm being Garvey shamed and harassed by someone via Twitter group chats. Any advice? Punch him. Just punch him. Mark Twitchell, what's going on? Welcome in. Mark is promoting the Macomb show in 2 weeks, Saturday, April 6th. Macomb, Illinois, my old stomping grounds at the VFW. Go check that out if you're in Western Illinois. John is putting a card show on because there isn't another show, not to compete with someone else. The purpose is to attract collectors and see people buying cards. Hobby competitions are ridiculous. I agree. You know, it's dull. But there's a lot of egos, and it's not just in the hobby. Like, well, in the baseball card hobby, there's egos in, I bet there's flea market egos, and there's promoters of flea markets that want to go head to head against other flea markets, toy shows, car without the D shows, any show you can think of. I'm sure there's egos, be assholes. But I think for the most part, nobody wants to compete directly on purpose and lose out on potential. That's just silly. Porter says, I once went to a gentleman's club after a Sunday Cards Cubs game talking about bringing the C team. Yikes. If it was were you in East St. Louis or Godfrey? What's Alton? My apologies if anybody's from those areas. Collector's Dream Orlando's in the house. Good morning. Oh, yeah. I've been to Gulfport. If you know, you know. There is no such thing. The C team is the Hall of Fame level in Gulfport, Illinois. It's like the Y team in Gulfport, which I don't think Gulfport was flooded several years ago. I was still in Macomb. Gulfport was about 45 minutes from Macomb. It's hard to describe Gulfport. Nasty is one word you could describe it. Gulfport was right along the Mississippi River across from Burlington, Iowa, and small town of 200-300 people. It had like 5 strip clubs. I don't even think there was a gas station. There might have been a gas station. There was a gas station just outside of Gulfport, but like in like the town, there was like 5 strip clubs and like a bar. Like that was the only commerce going on in Gulfport, Illinois. Well, at least above grade. I'm sure there were other illegal activities and sales going on in Gulfport. Dan's in the house. What's going on? Good morning, Herman. What's up? Jordan says, Porter, imagine Bullhead, Arizona gentlemen's clubs. That sounds like Gulfport. It's the Gulfport of Arizona. John says, Cards HQ. Oi, look at that overhead. Tell me where you're getting a bargain shopping at a place like that. Brian says, family was supposed to go to San Diego today for vacation. My daughter was sick all last night, had my wife and I up every 30 to 40 minutes. Needless to say, we had to cancel our vacay. Dude, that sucks. Ugh. I agree 100% with this one, Max. Anything with money brings egos. Absolutely nailed it. Jordan says, Brian, where do you live? Dave Arnold says, I have been with you in Gulfport. Dave said it. Dave said it. We've been to Gulfport. Hit up Burlington for a Bees game and have a couple beers at the local gentlemen's clubs in Gulfport. Brian is in Wisconsin. Yeah. And not just like, he's like near Bo, like as in like 10 minutes away. Phyllis looked okay that one night in Gulfport. Arnie had his beer goggles on. Jody, what's up? Good morning. Like I need to, just talking about Gulfport, I need to go take a shower. So let's talk about cards. So I got out my binders the other night. There you go. Stop by the oldest card shop in San Diego. Great deals on singles. Dan's softball league starts next Saturday. Thursday night I was getting out my binders. So what I started with, putting my Cubs autograph cards were in these card guards. Now, one thing that I immediately don't like is trying to take this ugly, stupid label off, and it's like stuck on. So first of all, any suggestions on how to get this without having to resort to Goo Gone, which is probably what I'm going to have to do? I don't know. So that's an annoyance. The other ones I have came off pretty easily, but I started using these a couple years ago because I don't think I had boxes with me in Arizona at spring training. So I needed to protect my autographs. So I went to a card shop and I'm like, oh, hey. And I'd been talking about Padfolios. So I picked up one of those Padfolios and I'm like, hey, I love how they display. And I can go through, again, like I said earlier, you look, nobody gets a 4-row box out and looks at cards. And what I like about this is it's all like this. And I'm displaying autographs. Like most of these are custom cards. So there are no backs. It just says like rookies on the back from the app that I use. So I don't need to display the backs. I'm not looking at the backs. I'm looking at the front of the cards. If they're not customs, they're just regular cards getting signed. I can go look at a back if I have them sorted by player or in a set binder. So that's why I like the Padfolios. I just like the display better. However, what I don't like is I want to display, say I want to like display them like this on a shelf. You can't see it, but like this. I want a spine. And there's really no spine, which I like the handling of it. There's no spine. It's not like squared off, but I want it squared off so I can put like, this is letter A. And that's what I've decided. I went through my 3-pad folios and just a random box behind me of autographs. And I counted up. I'm like, well, how many autographs just that I've pulled out? And I think I'm up to almost 100 autographed cards of just the letter A. And these pad folios hold 360. I'm like, okay, that's a good start. I'll just start with A and I'll get through the alphabet. So obviously there's no X. I can combine U and V, Y and Z. So 2 or 3 binders. But I don't necessarily know if I want to use these pad folios because I want something with a spine so I could put letter A, B, and so on. So that's the conundrum. So I did bring up Ultra Pro's website to see if they have any options. I don't want to spend, like the top loader binders are like almost $30, like $25, which, and the one I bought is too big. I think it holds 9. I've got it back there. Like it's just too big. I want something smaller. So instead of 9, maybe 6 or whatever it is. And that's got my rainbows in it. Adon Sanchez and Riley Thompson. So I don't want to spend like $25, $30 a binder, although I think this pad folio was 20. So maybe I will have to spend 25. But then you're doing, what's the math? 25 times, say if I get 25 binders, that's like $500, right? 25 and 25. No. See, I'm not good at math. That's $625. Don't make fun. 25 and 25. $625 in binders. That's a lot of fucking money. F-bomb. It's Saturday. It's the freaking weekend. So that's the conundrum I'm facing. But I did bring up Ultra Pro. We'll get to the chat and we'll keep talking about binders. Where are we at? Porter says, saw Jay. I met Coolio at Olympic Gardens in Vegas on my 21st. He rolled up in a stretch Chevy Avalanche. Coolio made it to a strip club, gentleman's club here in Wisconsin. My one of my coworkers at the time won like a meet and greet with Coolio at some gentleman's club like an hour away, and it was like a VIP service. And he invited me, and I'm like, I politely declined the invite to meet Coolio at some strip club in rural Wisconsin. He must be making the gentleman's club circuit now. Is that like, that's got to be like when you start touring strip clubs, that's got to be like a level below county fairs. Like, oh, the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band's playing the Grundy County Fair. Next stop, Showgirls. Herman says, my Walmart finally got cards back after they finished their remodel. Very nice. I was pleasantly surprised. Phoenix has cards at retail now. The last 2 years at spring training, there were no cards at Target or Walmart in Phoenix. The Walmart closest to where my hotel was did not have cards, at least that I could find. But I did stop at a Walmart and a couple Targets, and everywhere else that I had stopped, say I stopped at 5 places, 4 of the 5 had cards at retail. Some sections were better than others, but 4 out of 5 had cards. Whereas 0 of the 5 did last year and 2 years ago. Max says, Dan, does everyone that loses get lasered down by the 30-foot tall little Korean girl? Steam. Oh, Steam to get this off. Goo Gone. I don't want to use Goo Gone. Goo Gone's messy. Send it to Kurt's Card Care. Lighter fluid won't melt the plastic. Try heating the label with a hair dryer. Hey, I think the heat might be the best option. Steam and heat. Dan says, yes, she stands in deep center field. Goo Gone or dentured alcohol in a plastic razor scraper. I don't want to use Goo Gone. Goo Gone's icky. And it's stinky. Actually, it doesn't smell too bad. It smells like lemony, something like that. Max says, I'm the guy that gets a 4-row box out to look at cards. Oops. See, I don't. Herman says, I use the exact same ones and have used a cloth steamer and it comes right off. Interesting. So what's your process for the cloth steamer? I like it. I like the sounds of that. There's a reason why there's no spine. If you had a spine, then it starts to damage the cards over time, hence why the TCG binders have become so popular. I know, but I like the spine because I can at least, maybe if there's, like if this was a little thicker or a little, like if this was like 480, there would be almost a spine to it. I don't know, but that's because the thing is when I display when I have the binders in like this, I want to pull them out. I guess what I could do is have the labels below, like on the shelf. Or just have a skinny label. But I want it to look nice, you know. Uncle Rich. Hey, by the way, Uncle Rich will be on Hobby Hotline, which is coming up in less than an hour over on the Bench Clear Media channel. Uncle Rich, and I think I saw the lineup, Adam and Horatio. Adam, Horatio, and Rich on Hobby Hotline this morning. Steve, what's going on? Good morning to you. Hope everyone has a great weekend. I'm heading to Sloan Park shortly for the final Saturday of spring training. That's like sad. I was starting, and we talked about this. Steve and I hung out a lot last week at spring training, and Tuesday night was my last game, and it just, you could tell. You could just feel like I started feeling it on Monday, the day before when it was a complete off day. It's like, I could feel my time is coming to an end at spring training 2024, and it just feels like there's a lot less people. There's a lot less people, and it's just like, oh, the time is ending. And Tuesday night was definitely like, okay, it's spring training's over for me for sure, but it just felt like that. The Club 400 tent, there was a fraction of the people. Like, what do we have? Like max 15, 20 people at most at one time. Where like the week, like Thursday, Friday, we had, well, not as many Friday because of the weather, but Thursday we had like 200. Coolio died a few years ago. Okay. Well, Rich says he died in 2000. No, it was like 20. It must have been 2020 or 2021. Because when he was making the strip club circuit, it would have been, I was still working at my previous company, and my coworker was still there, and he left a year before I left. So it would have been, at most recent, Coolio would have been at the strip club in 2018 or 19. He was still alive. I assure you, he was not playing Weekend at Bernie's. Sheena's in the house. Good morning. Peru card show today. Enjoy. East Coast Tom is in the house. What's up? Max says still plenty of room there for you to put a letter. That is true. But it's going to have to be like a skin. It's super skinny label. And I have a little label maker, but I just have to do it up, down. Porter says you could label the front, then display the binders on a magazine rack, perhaps even wall mounted. Yes. Excellent. I do. So there's in my rec room, I can't show you right now, but in my rec room, I have my TV, I have the TV wall, but I don't have anything below it. And my wife is in charge of furniture because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So I need something below it. And she's been like looking around, but she's very particular about what she gets. So I need to give her the dimensions of the binders, be like, okay, she's going to want to have them closed off because she's not going to want an open shelf to show binders. So I'll see. And maybe I can do that. Herman says, I sent you a link to the steamer my wife has. Price isn't too bad and has a lot more uses than just your clothes. Oh, I was hoping you were just using like a hot wash rag. I have to buy something. Coolio died in 2022. Rich can't type. Double A cards in the house. Good morning. By the way, 13 days away from the big 1 million card announcement. Yes, April 5th. And you'll probably hear more about it before April 5th, but you'll definitely hear about it on April 5th. You will definitely hear about it on April 5th. Because I don't think I was live because I had a film crew come over the day before I left for spring training. I won't tell you who just yet. You'll find out. But it was fun. They were here for a few hours, did a little sit-down interview. I showed off some stuff in this room, took video in the card room, the Cubs collection. So it was a lot of fun, and that content will be coming out. I'm guessing I would hope this week we'll start seeing some of that content. Porter says, if you see Coolio at a strip club in 2024, you're going to have a bad time. I agree. So let's go back to binders. I've got Ultra Pro's page set up here. So we're going to share this. So I'm looking at Ultra Pro. And Ultra Pro I think they make these card guards that I've been buying. So I'm particular on what I want. So the reason I don't want, and I'm going to go back to, I mentioned I like the spines, but like Max says, it does damage cards over time. But I also don't like the way they display. And then I'll have to go buy pages, and it's just a pain in the ass. The pad folios, and so this is what I've been using. Pretty much this. I'll have to get a wholesale account to get this price down. So I think this is what I've been similar. This is similar to what I've been using. So that's why I don't want to use, these are for displaying my autographs, and I don't need to see the backs of the cards. And I like the way these display better. What's this one? This is, and I like black. I want to keep it consistent. I want them all to be black. These are $29.90. I wonder what the wholesale price is on these. Oh, these are sold out. Black is always sold out. One of the Target stores that I went to, because Target sells these card guards. One of the Targets I went to in Phoenix had like 50 of these pad folios. Not a single black pad folio. They were all red, green, white. It's like, well, the reason they have so many is because they're ugly colors. Stop making these colors. So I'm not seeing anything on Ultra Pro's website, and they're all freaking sold out. So maybe I'll have to go to check out Amazon, but at least with Ultra Pro, I could get a wholesale account. And I don't think Columbia Hobby, BCW, remember, I don't like them anymore, but I still have my account with them. I just have them shipped I could have them shipped to if it's a smaller order, I can have it shipped to my wife's office because she has a commercial address. Where are we at? Cards, albums. They have a big selection. Oh, let's present the screen. BCW. We want albums, folios, and binders. So it looks like they have 48. So those are the spines. All right. All the good ones are backward. What's this one? It's the bestseller. 3. How many? Oh, I don't want this one. It's too big. I have one of those and I don't like it. I want the 9 per. 9 per. Oh, it says right there, 12 pocket. Nope, I don't like that. Here's some Z folio. These are 12 pockets. I want 9 pocket. 12, 12, 12, 9. Here we go. I think I like this one, but I can't see the spine. I want to see if there's a spine. 252. That's okay. A little less than what I want, but I'd have to see this in person. It looks like it's going to be a similar spine to, and these are on back order also. Oh, wait. There is that. No. Yeah, these do look a little thicker than what I currently have. Maybe the same. Anyway, so that's what I'm looking at. And it's, again, I can wait for back orders because it's not necessary that I have them right away. And it'll be fun filling the binder. Like I said, I counted up almost 100 letter A autographs. It'll be fun, like, filling in. But the problem comes in, like, I'll sort, like, say I have Javier Assad and I get another Javier Assad. And then I have, where do I put it? Because that's going to annoy me. Like, oh, here's my Javier Assads. And then 4 pages later, there's another Javier Assad just floating. So that's what I want to avoid, but I want to get them in there. Just play like, here's my A's, here's my B's. So, where are we at? Herman says a hot rag may do it. See, that's what I was hoping for. Hot rag. Maybe I'll try that. I will have to take the cards out. I don't want to get water inside the binder. Rich is putting 1991 Pro Line into boxes where I can bulk them out. Strip club talk makes that a more enjoyable experience. Dan says most of my Burley collection is in Z folios. I've really enjoyed the pad folios, I guess, Z folios. Good morning, Andy Mack. Dan, yes, shoot me a message on the spines of what you're using, just so I get a better idea. And do you, like, if anybody's using pad folios, Z folios, anything like that, if you do, like, put anything on, like, the sides, like these are Cubs cards, these are White Sox cards, these are Burley's rookie cards, whatever. If you do anything like that, I'd like to see that as well, just so I can have an idea. Because now I'm like, this is where I'm at, where I have a little extra time, which I won't have the next couple of weeks. And then all of a sudden, this project kind of gets put, kind of like I was sorting and organizing my Cubs. And then all of a sudden, Top Series 1 releases and I never recover. And then I got the card show, spring training, other card shows. That's kind of what I'm going to be facing now. This week, Topps Big League. I got a case coming in. I've got the Madison Card Show next Saturday. Then I'll have my 1 million event. And then I had the following weekend, I have the Janesville Card Show. The following weekend, another Madison Card Show. So it's just the never-ending process. But I love it. Let's see. Dan says, I have not and don't plan to. I think I hear, oh, what is that? I think that's one of those cranes. Very. You can tell by the call. They have like a throaty call to them. Let's see. Dan has 6 to 7 all different colors. See, I need to keep mine all one color. I'm kind of like Cooter in that. It's got to be uniform. Although color-coded is, would be if, like, okay, the black binder is black parallels. The red binder is red parallels. Whatever. That'd be kind of cool if you could fill them up, but, like, reds are usually numbered to 5, so you wouldn't have too many. Good morning, Mr. Archer. What's happening? Steve Ains Comedy in the house. Good morning. So that's what I had. I just wanted to talk about my autographs and getting those organized. So today I'm going to be shipping. I've got Bobby Witt Jr. that I'm going to be listing. I've got about 100 Bobby Witt Jr. singles going on eBay. And then finish sorting 2023 Bowman draft as I watch some March Madness, and then I'll get those listed. Probably won't be tonight, but I'll probably have those going into my eBay store tomorrow. Probably, let's see, about 2,000, maybe a little less than 2,000 2023 Bowman draft singles. All of them with the exception of Cubs. So I think 100, I think there's 194 because I think there's 6 Cubs on the checklist. Shaw, Espinoza, Valdez, Carrico, and I think there's 2 others. So I'll get those. So I've already counted the Paul Skeens. I think there's 15 Paul Skeens. I think there'll be about 15 Wyatt Langford. So those will be going into my eBay store. Most of them will be $1.50 free shipping. Paul Skeens and Wyatt Langford will be higher, obviously. But for the most part, most of them will be $1.50 free shipping. Of course, there's quantity discounts, 7 or more at regular price, 25% off at checkout. So be looking for those. Herman uses black binders for my sets and blue for Braves team sets. Okay. I can get behind color coded. Like these are team sets. These are complete sets. I like it. I like it a lot. So that's what I had for today. Thanks for tuning in. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Visit my eBay store. I've been adding some new inventory each day that I've been back. 99centcards.com. Next Saturday's the Madison Card Show. Tables are sold out. 3 ballrooms, 175 tables. 2 ballrooms on the first floor. That's the State Street Ballroom. Easiest access is around back. And there's outdoor door to go directly into the ballroom. Williamson Ballroom's right across the way. And then upstairs on the second floor, the entire second floor with the Capitol Ballroom and the mezzanine. So that's next Saturday, Sheraton Hotel, John Nolan Drive, 9 to 3, free admission, 175 dealer tables, and we are sold out. So hope to see you next Saturday at the show. If not, I'll see you tomorrow morning. We'll go live probably about the same time. What I say yesterday, it'll probably be close to 9 o'clock because I need to sleep. And guess what? I'm up early. So went on time for a Saturday, 8:30. Here we are. So back at it tomorrow morning. We'll say 9 o'clock. I got a fantasy baseball draft tonight also. I forgot about that. I need to set my alarm because I keep forgetting about it. Even though I keep checking like, I want my draft strategy. Oh, yeah, the draft is tonight. All righty. That's what I had for today. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great Saturday. We'll see you tomorrow.